Hi, my name is Becky, and I'll be doing the Krebs on Security article on PAnerabread.com's leak of millions of customers' records. This is pretty big in the news today, so you've probably heard a little bit about it, but background is that a independent security researcher named Dylan Houlihan had contacted PAnerabread about 8 months ago, back in February, letting them know that there was a massive data leak on their website. Basically, you could download in a plain text the entire database of their customer information, which included things like the username, the last name, your email, physical address, phone number, and the last four of your credit card number. And in addition to this, things were sequentially numbered. So you could search the entire database for just a phone number or for somebody's first and last name or the last four of their credit cards. So you could basically help compile or fill in other databases that you may have already been compiling on people's personal information. At first, Mike Gustafson, the president of security at Panera, or director of information security rather, at Panera, dismissed Houlihan's email as a scam and didn't really do anything, but then did confirm that later they were able to verify that it was in fact true, and they told him that they fixed it. Well, he continued to check back monthly, and they hadn't fixed it, and he checked because he was pissed, basically, that they'd done nothing about this data breach that he'd found. So he brought the whole thing to Krebs, and he emailed him, and Krebs started reporting on it, and amazingly, Panera just did the worst thing possible, and instead of being upfront, instead of actually fixing it 8 months ago and then being upfront about it later, they just totally gave him the runaround, which he's been tweeting about all day, and it's hilarious, and he's getting really feisty, so I highly recommend checking out his Twitter thread, because it will not disappoint right now. Basically, one of the only ways that they tried to fix it was by making people log in before they were able to access this plain text file that they were able to get access to that they shouldn't have had access to in the first place. And then they ended up having to take down the entire website, which right now, I just checked, as of right now, it's still down. But then for a while, they were getting so many hits that even their website is offline page was down, and you just got the 404 error, which really points to the fact that they have no idea, what they're dealing with right now or how to fix it or anything like that. So Panera gave a statement to Fox News stating that only about 10,000 customer records were exposed. That kind of jumped to 7 million. Apparently now it's jumped to 37 million customer records were exposed. And I'm trying to imagine 37 million people actually enjoying Panera's enough to have an account with them, because it's just fine. Maybe that's just me. Sorry to anybody that super loves Panera. But maybe don't have a loyalty account with them right now. So the vulnerabilities appear to have extended to the commercial division, which serves as catering and everything. So obviously they're going to have some corporate information as well, access to other corporate accounts. So it's a pretty big mess right now. And I think one of the things that I take away from this, there are a couple companies that I really adore that have been hacked, and several of them have been very upfront when they got hacked. LibreVox, realized it within about 24 hours, this was a few years ago, and let everybody know to change their passwords and everything, and we worked and shut down, to protect the servers and everything that we are on. MyFitnessPal just let everybody know that they'd been hacked, and within 2 days of discovering the hack, had informed all the users. So there are definitely better ways to respond to being hacked than the way that Panera did. And I think the other thing that I think is really frustrating is when big companies like this, who would just honestly look better. I think people are pretty understanding about getting hacked, because a lot of people just frankly don't understand technology anyway, so they're older people are willing to just roll past it as long as you're honest with them. And when you try and deny it and cover up the story, it's a lot worse. And the fact that an independent researcher who's testing this month and month and month again, and nothing's being fixed, has to go to somebody that has a social media presence and an online independent news source to get the information out and to basically force a company to protect information that they should already be invested in protecting, is just really frustrating. I work with FERPA data. I'm a researcher. We do everything that we can to protect people's personally identifying information. Before this, I worked in medical records. And, if we'd ever had a breach of any of this, it would have been horrible. But my security information has been stolen from our Army databases like 5 times, my social security number and everything, and I get an alert about it constantly. Oh, the Chinese stole your records. Or we just lost computers with your medical information on it. Nothing happens to them, and nothing happens to these larger companies like Panera. Whereas, if we'd even had somebody break into our medical site and steal a handful of files, we would have, had felony charges brought against us. So it's just frustrating that what we need is online vigilantes protecting our personally identifiable information from corporations that should be equally invested in protecting at least our purchasing power with them. So anyways, that is my review and a little bit of an end rant. I apologize on the Krebs on Security article about PAnerabread.com, and check out his Twitter. It's pretty funny. Bye.